I woke up this morning, tied my boots up, cause I knew it was gonna be a long day. Fired my truck up, grabbed my coffee, kissed my baby, got on my way. Cause I'm working till it's hurting, and that's the only way to make an honest day's pay. So I'm working even when it's hurting, and that's the only way to make an honest day's wage. Yeah, I'm up early with the birdies, ready to get dirty. This ain't a song for you if you asleep at 7:30. I rise like the sun on the bag of the pounds, at full throttle in the bottle like that homemade shine. I'm just trying to make a living, boss man tripping, my overtime strong, I don't pay him no attention. Money in the mason jar, country boy pitching. Old lady, 3 kids, take a lot to fill the kitchen. Fingernails dirty, my back stay hurting. You can bet I got a plan for every penny that I'm earning. I ain't asking for a raise, but I know the boss hurt me. Nobody on this job site's working like I'm working. 30 below to 100 degrees, and you ain't pushing hard enough if your hands don't bleed. I'm the first to clock in and the last to leave, and I ain't never had a problem rolling up my sleeves. I woke up this morning, tied my boots up, cause I knew it was gonna be a long day. Fired my truck up, grabbed my coffee, kissed my baby, got on my way. Cause I'm working till it's hurting, and that's the only way to make an honest day's pay. So I'm working even when it's hurting, and that's the only way to make an honest day's wage. I'm out the door by sunup, focused on the come up. We never sleep in, that ain't how we was brought up. I push it to the limit when the money gets low, and been on the work pass when the plant whistle blows. Paycheck feeling like a lottery ticket. I might save a couple bucks if my kids don't spend it. Don't matter cause I love it every day of my life. Spend more time on the clock than I do with my wife. State to state, never late, putting miles on the road. Drop it off, fill it up, get me to my next load. Call my old lady, let her know I'll be late. And I ain't worried cause I know that she gon' save me a plate. I told you 30 below to 100 degrees, and you ain't pushing hard enough if your hands don't bleed. I'm the first to clock in and the last to leave, and I ain't never had a problem rolling up my sleeves. I woke up this morning, tied my boots up, cause I knew it was gonna be a long day. Fired my truck up, grabbed my coffee, kissed my baby, got on my way. Cause I'm working till it's hurting, and that's the only way to make an honest day's pay. So I'm working even when it's hurting, and that's the only way to make an honest day's wage.
Big Smo, a new series, coming in June on A&E. Coming to you live on the air.
And ladies and gents and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. Thank you. We had some technical issues starting up there, and that was not the right video, so thank you for allowing us to get through this. The Podcast is your home for rational crypto news and objectivity, leaving emotion at the door, talking about what we like, why we like it, and where we see it going. We are not offering financial advice. We are telling you what we do, and that is all. We don't slow down. We don't let up. Full speed is our only speed. I'm your host, Scott, pragmatic investor who has won and lost fortunes. And joining me, as always, is the greatest producer of all time, the one, the only, the original, the redheaded Belle. How are you doing tonight, Belle?
You know what? A little traumatized because of the battery acid this evening.
Yeah, I didn't mention that. We're on a mission now to try to keep the we're kind of on a mission now to keep the level in these bottles even, and yeah. So until this one matches the double yummy Frey Ranch there, we're going to be pulling off from the battery acid. So if I sound a little hoarse or broken up or something like that, that's exactly why, because we're drinking
Battery acid.
we're drinking very, very toxic whiskey. And yeah, this stuff, you know what? The taste is not bad. The taste is the taste is pretty good. But 135 proof, man. No kidding. You can run your car on this. You can easily run.
You can taste that?
Yeah.
I mean, you can pick up anything?
Well, I mean, it gets easier. It gets easier as you go through several more of them, but as you start getting more and more down in you, it gets a lot easier. But right now, it's boy, that's good. It's yummy. Wait a minute. Give me a second here, man. That stuff is toxic. So.
Again, battery acid.
I like it though. And the bottle was purchased. It was a gift.
It was a gift, so we're obligated to drink it.
You don't look a gift horse in the mouth. At least I certainly don't. Anyone who sends me bourbon, I'm like, thank you. Jeff, he's not on here much anymore, Political, but yeah, he sent us some booze and we drank the hell out of that stuff too. I think I still got some over that monkey paw stuff. That wasn't bad. It was not bad. It was not bad bourbon. I mean, there's effectively nothing that I won't drink. You got to alter your reality, man. I'm a crypto guy, so it certainly helps. Okay, so couple things, and yes, we are discussing Jack. I just felt like going old school tonight. We haven't gone old school in a while, and I really felt like kind of going old school and giving you like a crypto stream all the way from the way back with actually some positive stuff on top of all the negative. The negative right now is Atom. It's clearly Atom. The whole ICF, ICL, ADAL, all that stuff, it seems like it's kind of imploding. But people have, they realized it. They realized it with that announcement that basically we don't know what the fuck we're doing. We have no idea. We're going to try to monetize a stack that is in a highly, incredibly competitive area now. I mean, the time to do it was 5 years ago, but we didn't care about that because we were in a bubble. So remember, we don't need, monetization is for very, very short-sighted people. We don't need actual income. It's fine. We're going to change the world. And you didn't. And once you didn't, it's a little bit late coming back up here. So there's a lot of negativity that's certainly anybody that's in Cosmos. Personally, I think the bulk of everybody has fled. The only people who are left over here are community members. And, obviously we air quote that because community member means that you bought it $26 and it's sitting at $4-ish. So you're screwed. You're pretty well all the way screwed down now. So it doesn't really matter, but you become a community member, and that's how crypto is. So the bulk of at least the most vocal people, they left long time ago. They're not here anymore. There is no hopium for them, not here. But the last remaining holdouts, the people who still, I believe in this stack and we're going to change the world and all that other stuff, it seems like they're a little bit disappointed by that last announcement. It came out, we talked about this, and I do like how they said the whole thing up there as well. This is a new Atom. We're only 6 months old now. It's like, no, but you're really not. You're really not, because the token goes from the way back. And just because you get new leadership in that used nothing that the old leadership was doing, which is probably fine because the old leadership was doing nothing whatsoever. But your whole thing, well, we're taking over. This is how it's going to be. And you basically just say, yeah, we're not monetizing anything. We're going to privatize it. We're going to privatize the monetization, and we're going to push the expenses out on the community members. And that's exactly what's happening there. It turns out that message was not well received. I'm not even sure how you get CryptoCito to sell that. And I know you're going to pay him to do it. So I'm not real sure what you do on that one. Now, the question was brought up, and that's why we're doing a Jackal stream, because you know what? We're the home of Jackal. I'm announcing it. All right. It is in. It's official. We are the home of Jackal because nobody else does it. And if nobody else does it, we're going to do it. We've been, that's it. So we are the official home of Jackal. Whether Jackal wants this to be the case or not, it doesn't matter. We're declaring it. So yes, and whatever comes out, we're certainly going to be talking about it. But It was actually brought up over on their over on the Jackal Telegram, which I'm glad that all that stuff is happening over on the Jackal Telegram and the Jackal Discord instead of ours, because we have no authority over here. We have nothing to do with anything. I don't work for Jackal. They don't pay me. But it was brought up on there because now the the idea here is that Atom is going to trend towards zero, and I mean I've long thought that anyway. But now that it's could you close that door? But now that it's starting to seem like it's starting, I'm sorry, my dog is barking. But now that it seems like everybody's completely out of ideas, we don't know what to do, and basically we're going to take whatever's left, we're going to build what we want, we're going to privatize the income. But now that that's occurred, it seems like everybody else, they're kind of losing hope, and they're saying, yeah, it's going to zero. So it was brought up over on the Jackal Telegram. What happens if Atom goes to zero? And I actually have good news for you on that one. It's not really going to affect Jackal. The damage has been done. All right, the original Jackal pool that was paired up with Osmosis, and all those years ago, Osmosis was at I don't even know $2, $3, $4 at that time. That Jackal was paired up with it. $1 million pool, $500,000 in Jackal, $500,000 in Osmo. But since then, as Osmo dropped all the way down to 13 cents. So the impermanent loss damage already occurred. I mean, it really can't get that much worse in the pool over on Osmosis it's so small, it's not really going to rocket that much. So sure, Atom goes down. It's taken Osmo out with it. Those are still the largest pairing up there is Atom and Osmo. And yeah, but it's not really going to, I don't think it's really going to affect the price of it that much because the big pool is now sitting over there on Aerodrome. And for what it's worth, for those of you who have not explored it, I said we're going old school in this one, and I'm going old school. My biggest earner out of anything that I've had out here right now has been Ethereum Jackal pairing. And the biggest earner is because they're still paying out 150%. But the reward emissions are paid out in Aero. They're paid out in the Aerodrome DEX token. I don't care about the Aerodrome DEX token. Let them manage their own DEX. My job is to provide liquidity, which I've always done. I have tons and tons of Jackal, and I had quite a bit of Ethereum. So it's no big deal to shove it in there and sit there and collect at 150% APR. The Aero gets dumped every time it's not a daily thing. I don't even go over there every day. But when I go in there, I harvest it up. I take the Aero. I convert half of it to Ethereum, half of it to Jackal, and I continue to lay into that pool. And as long as they're going to be giving me 3-digit APRs with no particular risk to the token, because the rewards are paid out in Aero, and as long as they're going to be doing that, I'm all over it. And it kind of leads you to a whole nother thought process. We know that impermanent loss is a reality. I've seen the videos, people saying it doesn't matter. You guys are full of shit. You obviously can't add. But they actually went with a smart pairing over there. Now, they had their choice. Jackal had their choice when they were creating that pairing over on Aerodrome between either pairing it with Ethereum or pairing it with USDC. Now, I was kind of happy with either of them, but at the time, I thought Ethereum was going to be the better move for them because you want something that's going to give it a little bit of an upward lift. As Bitcoin goes up, and I know it's not really fleshing out in the chart, but if you really, really dig in and look into all of this and see what's going on, you're seeing that it is kind of fleshing out. As Ethereum boosts, only a few percent. It doesn't take much. Ethereum goes up 3-4%. It's going to kind of tail. It's going to lag Bitcoin a little bit, but not that much. It gives a little bit of a lift over to Jackal. Now, personally, I don't particularly care because I'm collecting Aero on it. I'm collecting Aerodrome on it, and I'm just fine with that. So it's just kind of funny how we've come full circle on this. Now, I still think the smarter pairing for anybody else who really wants to say, what can I do here? I still think the smarter pairing is a Jackal USDC. And the only place you're going to find that pool is, got to go to the big screen. The only place you're going to find that pool is right there. Right down. I'm not pointing at my junk. I'm just saying, right? Look, the banner right there.
Yeah, I'm pointing at the sign.
That's the only place that you're going to find that pool. They literally created that pool because I asked them to and because I funded it. because I still believe all the way down in Jackal, 100% of it. Now, Sigia Cloud, and we just had a really good meeting with somebody today. Who did we have that meeting with, Bella? I forget their name. It was so long ago.
Nikita from Dissenter.
Nikita from Dissenter. I've never actually talked to the guy. This was the very first time I talked to him.
No, this is the third time you've talked to him.
I don't recall any of them. Did we interview him?
No, we've had one-on-one meetings with him.
I don't really, I don't recall, but I drink a lot, so you get what you get. But I had no idea how ideologically aligned we are. And this is a guy from Belarus who learned English in New Jersey. So his English has got a little bit of that East Coast accent bullshit. I think it's hilarious. But I didn't realize how ideologically aligned that we were. And we had a meeting with them because they could find a use for a little app that we're building that you guys might be familiar with. And, you know, clearly the integration for us to slip into there is so simple that, you know, it's, we just got to come up with a price. We come up with a price. They're coming over there. We'll make the announcement. That'll be our very first B2B. And I understand Dissenter token is pretty well dust. I don't think anybody's really pushing money into the Dissenter token anymore. It doesn't really matter. But the product itself works a treat. You are looking at Dissenter right here. You were looking at it on, or whenever I show my phone, or I'm showing anything on my phone, or taking screen recordings, you're looking at it on Dissenter. That's the only app that or it's the only browser that I use. It's Chromium based. There's no particular learning curve. You can download it from the store. I think it's Android. I think it's iOS. I know it's iOS because my phone is iOS and I have Dissenter. But it's on Android. It's everywhere. And they do have quite a few users. So for us, it's no big deal for us to cut them a cost break because it's going to give us access to an awful lot of consumers. That's what we're looking for. Have you guys heard of Sigia Cloud? Have we mentioned this before? We're looking for consumers. So anything that will give us visibility to consumers, we're certainly going to bend the knee, because all of these things, guys, come around and help Jackal, because we don't get a break on the cost of storage. Now, we've had these arguments, and they seem to be more or less philosophical arguments, because coming towards the end of the beginning of crypto, and that's where we are. I'm going to still deem it that we're at the end of the beginning. The things that come out of this are going to be the things that are actually utilizing blockchain, and not the things that are just pumping and dumping and selling and bullshitting tokens. All right, those days are gone. But the things that actually have a path to monetization, those are the ones that are going to work. So as we do our thing, as Sigia Cloud does our thing, and I sure hope you guys are going to use it. I don't care. We don't have a token to sell. I don't care, but I sure hope you guys are going to use it, because we have another big thing. We kind of tickled around it, but we kind of got another really, really big push that's coming up for Sigia Cloud. And it's coming up at the end of the week. Belle, would you like to discuss that a little bit? I don't care if we make Thursday, Friday, but we know what's going in. Would you like to discuss that so that we can discuss the implications of it?
I really, you know what? I want to see if people can actually, are actually going to take a look at it and see what has been added before we get too far into detail. I'm going to drop my own personal challenge here.
Okay.
The first person who was not on the stream last night, and I know who you guys are. The first person who was not on the stream last night and heard this update, who can tell me what change they're seeing regarding the app back on Monday, you know what? They're going to get an autographed t-shirt.
Okay, that's it. You get autographed t-shirts, guys. You should be absolutely thrilled with these things.
I think it's fair.
I think it's fair. I think it's fun. So Belle doesn't want to release. I want to release the information because I'm marketing, and she's in development and project management. I want to do anything up there. Look, this is a big feature. All right, this is a huge feature. This right now, all we are is a storage app. And for what it's worth, most people don't use storage apps, or they use whatever is defaulted on their phone, whether it be the iCloud or whatever it happens to be. They tend to use that. But this, which is coming in the end of the week, changes us from simply storage to utility. And not only utility, we are talking groundbreaking utility. All right. Nobody can do this. Nobody can do what we are doing from a pure consumer standpoint. So before, we're trying to sell storage, and we've been finding out real quick that that's a very tough sell too, because people don't care. They're fine sharing their data. They're fine making sure that Amazon gets pictures, iOS gets, they're fine being harvested. We found out real quick that privacy by itself is not a product. It isn't. All right. And Jackal, if you guys are going to keep, if you're going to be pushing that narrative, you're going to run into the same damn roadblocks we're running into. And we are Web 2 friendly. We are incredibly Web 2 friendly. So you're going to hit the same roadblocks that we're hitting. Privacy is not a product. Privacy is a feature. You got to find out what the product is. And we're finding out that even storage itself is a kind of a tough sell, because people really, it's not something that they really think about. They don't really go out of their way saying, boy, my phone is full, I got to delete images or something like that. Not a lot of people go through that. So we're finding out, starting to get there, that utility is the thing that's going to separate us from everything. And I'm going with a real simple narrative. Me and Jason been talking this up. Look, we're Dropbox, but we're better. There is no reason that we can't leverage what is effectively now dead tech. Dropbox hasn't had any updates or innovations for years. They're just now getting to the point where they're talking about, well, we're going to encrypt files. Okay, where was that 10 years ago when you were harvesting the hell out of everybody? But there's no real pressure on them to do any of that stuff. So we have to be Dropbox just better. We have to leverage Dropbox brand recognition so that we can sell our own product. We are faster. Show of hands, who out there is testing it? And if you're not testing it, would you like to test it? It don't cost you nothing. We're Android, we're iOS. Contact at sigiacloud.io, and I guarantee you that app is on your phone. Just try it out. You don't have to take my word for it. See it for yourself. But where this comes all around to Jackal is the only reason that we can have this level of utility in the way that we're doing it is because Jackal created it. Jackal built the product. We are simply leveraging the technology and reselling it. And every single consumer that we get, everyone, has just bought Jackal tokens. Not just once, but month after month after month. So if we build a good app and it's friendly and people like it and they continue to use it, and for our price point, there's effectively no reason, we are building for the masses, that there should not be a steady buy pressure that's going to be set up there on the Jackal token. A cash is going to be the same way, but a cash clearly has no interest whatsoever in supporting anything that we're doing. They're locked into AI. They're dialed in completely. Apps don't matter to them. People using their product really don't seem to matter to them. So I don't know if you've noticed, but I don't talk about a cache very much anymore. We have to do it so that we have a complete Web3 stack. But I'm kind of shopping around on Render too, because if we can get a better deal over on Render, guess what? We're Render. All right, it really, we're computed by Render. It really doesn't matter to us. But our big concern with the compute layer is if we hit an inflection point. Because if we do, we have to scale, and we have to scale fast. And for every decentralized server that we stand up, we have to stand up two. One is the primary, the other one is the backup. These are decentralized providers. They can pull the plug on these at any time. And what we can never have is downtime. Because if we go down for even a second, this is every single customer that is out there that is locked out of their data. That can never, ever happen. Ever. So we have to stand, even though it's cheaper for us to do it in a decentralized manner, it's about equivalent in cost because we have to stand up a primary and a redundant for every single group that we onboard. For every new, we hit a certain number. We're finding out real quick that the servers can only handle so many people. So we're going to have to scale up. Every time that we get more people, we're going to have to scale up. That means 2 servers. So we have to make sure that whoever we are using from a decentralized standpoint can handle us. Right now, I'm not so sure it's a cache. I'm not so sure. We're starting there. But if we have to pivot off, we're probably going over to render because they just simply have a whole hell of a lot more.
I can see us actually easily chewing through the servers that Akash has for lease. Actually,
We're already
with the demand.
we're already pushing up because we have certain specs that we have to meet. Ours is about user experience. I know Web3, we don't really care about user interface, user experience, but we're not a Web3 company. We're a Web2 company, and they do care. They care an awful lot. So yeah, we have to, we're already kind of chewing through what they have over there, meaning available to lease. We need certain specs. Our specs, we need them hot. We need very hot servers. We're willing to pay a premium because it gives you a better user experience. But for us to do that, we have to make sure that they can scale. And I'm not sure Akash can. I'm not sure that there are enough servers over there for lease for us to be able to scale on them. But I know Render has them. And
I mean, if we run through what Akash has, then the people running Akash should be pretty happy about that and scrambling. Now, with that being said, if we do that, there is nothing wrong with us going to another provider of servers.
No, and the best part is that you'll never know. Users will never know.
Yeah, users
will
never know.
Our providers will never know. They just ask for our wallets. They don't ask for our names. They don't ask what we're doing with them. They don't care. I say, these are the specs that I need. How much will you charge me for it? If I find the price acceptable, then I'll go ahead and lease that server. I have to lease 2 of them, but I'll go ahead and lease that server. And if I don't, I won't. Do you know how many providers there are out here? Do you guys have any idea? Because it ain't just, it's not just the cache. It's not just render. All right, there's about 20 of them. So we can easily shop around, and we are 100% agnostic, chain agnostic. All right, we'll pay them in whatever tokens they happen to need, and I don't need Polaris to do that. All right, everything is bridged to everything now. It's no problem for us to put cash in and put cash out. Now, all of that is going to have to run through Astrovault. That might be a problem. They are our pay rail, and all of these transactions have to happen immediately. This is what we will pay for the storage. This is what we are paying for the providers. So we need percentages of every single person who pays every single month. We need percentage of those to go and buy Jackal, go and buy Cash, go and buy Render, and go and buy anything else that we need. And yeah, they're going to handle all of that for us because we're not in the pay rail business either. Astrovault, they're in the pay rail business. We're not in the pay rail business. But it's all about transactions, isn't it, guys? Isn't that the whole thing? It's all about transactions. Well, we're going to absolutely shut these guys down. We're going to crush them. We're going to crush Astrovault. We're going to crush Jackal. We're going to take every lease server that's out there. We're very excited. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, Phil, do we got any questions before we get on to the next thing?
Oh, we've got several comments. I'm not, really seeing any questions, but I'll keep scanning. So a couple comments from General Los. Jackal dumping on everyone and their mama. If you had just held Adam the last year, you would have done better than Jackal.
Sure, but you also wouldn't have caught the you also wouldn't have caught the 2 cents to 98 cents that you got. What is that? If my math is right, what is that, about a 45x ish, something like that? Yeah, you also wouldn't have caught that one, bro. While I appreciate that and getting into the whole degen, I'll counter with a simple question. What does Adam do? What does Adam do? I think it's a fair question. And you know what? I'm going to open that up to the entire audience. What does Adam do? Because Jackal, as they're sitting right now, is a fully sovereign chain, and I'm not defending them. All right. Jackal can defend themselves. All right. They got a big team, lots of players, lots of everybody. They can defend themselves. I don't need to. But what does Adam do? Because I can tell you specifically what Jackal does. And if you can't understand the little nuanced difference between what I just said, I can't help you. Belle, carry on.
All right, Crypto Sailor. Regarding Adam, it's not imploding. Their latest announcement was super bullish.
Are you shitting me, dude? Crypto, I don't understand. What what? Was it bullish for the ICL, the ICF, or was it bullish for retail? Because it was not bullish for retail, babe. I'm not sure what you read, but I know what I read. And all I see is privatizing gains and subsidizing losses. That's all I read. Does he carry on?
Oh, he's got more.
Okay, good.
They are deprioritizing the EVM copycat BS. Ripple is now using Cosmos as well. What? Atom going to zero?
Will it? I have no idea, dude. I have no idea. I don't know what it's doing. I'm just reflecting on the mood of the crypto Twitter. Now, there's maybe a dozen people that actually talk about Atom anymore. There's effectively nobody else. All right. You got Crypto Cedo, who gets paid to do it. You got a couple other talking heads that also get subsidized to go ahead and discuss and talk about wine and roses. But the other folks that actually mention Atom from time to time, they're not terribly positive about it, bro. Now, me personally, don't care. I don't own any. The only Atom that I have is from a farm on Astrovault that pays out in Atom, which I dump every single day. This bitch ain't gonna 10x, man. All right, the $4 to $40, just wait, hold my hand. I see no path to that, none. Now, you do you, bro. But for me and my money, I'm going to protect it a little bit better than that, man. We know what's happening on there. I'm saying, no, I'm not going to say we. I'm going to say I know what's going on there. I can see the goddamn validator list. How many times, who's ever actually went up there and pulled up the names on those fucking validators? Have you looked? Have you actually seen what they're doing with any of this shit? It is a slush fund. It is a science experiment. That's what's going on over there. And after all the years and years and years that they've been doing all of this bullshit, the last thing that they came up with is we're dumping EVM. Stride decks can still be stride decks, but you know, I thought that was kind of funny because I was like, you know what we're missing out here, Bill? Another dex. That's what we're missing. Big round of applause. But I don't see it. I don't see it. All I saw was a whole lot of we think, we hope, we might. Getting enterprise customers, that's what they're talking about. This shit doesn't happen overnight. Not for the type of money that you're talking about. Not a lot of these guys are sitting there willing to invest $50 million for you to invest something to get them on the chain. If they have that much money, bro, they ain't using you. They have floors of developers and just say, build us this, and they'll fucking do it themselves.
They could literally be an incubator for real life-changing, much needed problem solutions.
And
they could be an incubator.
And it ain't gonna be this, man. So I'm wrong all the time. I know, because I get so many comments and you guys point that out, how wrong I am about everything. I'm not, by the way. But no, that's fine. You do you, bro. Just gonna leave it there. Bell, carry on.
I'm actually gonna tag onto that. Okay, we were in Dubai in October. Okay.
That was fun.
We actually had, and Scott and I were clear across the room for each other, not standing with each other at all. We were each approached separately by members representing Cosmos and the Cosmos Hub. They actually stated to us that they know they've got problems. And they asked me specifically, what do you think we should do to fix this?
I'll tell you the funniest one. I can say it now because it's a dead chain. We ran into Griffin out there. Griffin, you guys remember Griffin Anderson? You guys remember him from Archway? You guys remember Archway? And they... It was so cheesy. They took some boxes and they set up some boxes and put like a thing on it and said, okay, that's the Archway booth. They didn't pay for it or anything like that. They just found open space. They set up some boxes, put a lid on it, and said, yeah, we're in. It was like a little handwritten sign, Archway. And I asked them, and this back October, I said, bro, what are you guys working on? You got all this money. You still got like a $10 million fund over there. That's not, you're clearly not sending. What are you guys working on it? He said, nothing. We got nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I noticed that you haven't heard much from Griffin Anderson lately, and I can tell you why, because yeah, that's kind of it. Anyway, carry on, Belle, or I'm going to play another song.
All right. So anyway, carrying on with that. Yeah, I flat out told a couple of people when they approached me, look, you need to drop the validators that are doing nothing but liquidating your tokens. You need to reduce the size of your validator set, and you need to focus on apps. No more dexes. We don't need them.
Oh, between app, well, that's Cosmos, man. What we got? Dexes, we got NFT platforms, we have easy enough. How many people out there are huge fans of Atom? How many of you guys are just huge fans of the Cosmos ecosystem? And out of all those big fans of the Cosmos ecosystem, how many of you guys have apps, Cosmos apps, on your phone right now? How many? And I could probably answer this for you. It'll be nice and easy. I'll tell you what, if somebody can surprise me with something that they have on their phone, we will send you an Aegis t-shirt, because that's this one here, because I got a whole bunch left of these things and we haven't given them all away.
So Crypto Sailor is arguing my point.
Okay.
And I am sorry, but no, you're absolutely incorrect on this one.
Get them, Bell.
Okay?
Get them. I don't have to do it.
Validators are paid out in Atom token. What good does it do the network to constantly have those validators dumping? The only thing that does is put sell pressure on the token. If they were interested in being able to have that price go up, have more buy pressure, you're going to want the sell pressure on that token to stop. They have now gotten to a point where they can't continue paying all these freaking validators that are going to continually dump these tokens. They can't keep maintaining their own network infrastructure. Two, as far as if their infrastructure fails, the entire Cosmos relies on their infrastructure. No. The entire Cosmos does not rely on their SDK, because their SDK is open source.
I got nothing, but it seems like a good time to go ahead and take a little break here, because we can let the bell calm down. No, that's fine. I'm glad she's losing her shit instead of me losing my shit.
I'm sorry, but those are the facts.
Joe, Cosmos DeFi, or who used to be Cosmos Joe. I miss that. I miss the old Joe. Joe, go back to your old brand, dude. We've been the podcast the entire time. We never rebranded to try to run away from anything that we said. We're still huge Jackal fans. We're building apps on it. By the way, contact at sigiacloud.io if you would like to test the app. Don't take my word for it, babe. Try it yourself. All right. And we're trying to get as many people on there right now before this next push, because this next push moves us from storage to utility, and it's a big push. So I'd like you to see it before and after. But I will throw it up. If anybody has a Cosmos app that would surprise me on their phone right now, mention it in the chat. If it surprises Bell, I'll send you a Aegis t-shirt. These are throwback t-shirts, because we're not Aegis anymore. We're Sigia. Obviously, because we had trouble with getting the corporate paper side. There's so many Aegises, man. But there's only one Sigia, and that happens to be us. So, yeah, if you guys want to put that in, I would certainly appreciate it. We're going to take a little break here. Bell's going to scroll through whatever's left, and we're going to come back, and I'm going to tell you why we're going to be pushing these things just to hell and gone. So if you could please stand by. I have to run up there to cue the song. So if you could please stand by. We'll be right back here on the podcast on the KPOD network, guys. Don't go anywhere. And ladies and gentlemen, boy, it's a fiery one tonight, man. He put Jackal and Atom on there. My goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and kittens, welcome back to the podcast. And I got to do a little show note here. We got to change up some of the curtains. We're going to alternate the backdrop here, and we're thinking gold. So we go with black and gold. We need gold because all of our signage is done in matte black. So we need to make sure that the signage shows up and pops and that the lights will work. So I'm thinking gold, but if somebody else out there has a better idea, please let us know. We're going to be alternating the curtains all the way across, and that way we can utilize a little bit more of the stream, or a little bit more of the studio. So that's kind of what we're thinking on that one. For what it's worth, man, look, we want to be a good show. We want to bring a good product That's it. This is my product. This is the podcast. So we want to try to bring as good a product as we possibly can. And yeah, if we have to alternate the curve, we just haven't changed in a while, Bill. It's been a very, very static studio here for quite a bit. So
we were trying to figure things out here, though.
Yeah, and that's kind of the rub. You know, we're just kind of working on it. So, you know, I got to bring up one more point. I'll bring up one more Adam point. I haven't done the math, and the fact that I'm bringing it up right now tells me that I have had some liquor in me. All right, that's why I'm bringing it up. But maybe somebody out there that's listening right now can do some real quick math for me, and let's kind of sort this out. I believe, I'm not certain because I don't stake any, but I believe that the staking percentage for Adam is about 10%. Please correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe it's about 10% thereabouts. How many total Adam tokens are staked? Knowing that 10% of these are going to be emitted over a period of 12 months. And then tell me what that number is. Based on how many tokens are staked and a 10% emission. That means 10% more are going to come into existence. What's the total value of that 10%? And then we can finally discuss the last little bit and say, where does that yield come from? So why we're enjoying the argument, Crypto Sailor, bro, don't block me, man. Look, we can agree to disagree on this one. This is what adults do, so we can certainly see it. But out of that 10% that is being emitted over there over a period of 12 months, where does that yield come from? Now, that is such an important question. That is such a critical question. But for some reason, we continue to dodge this. We continue to pretend like this doesn't matter. And it's not exactly simply a Cosmos problem. This is a Solana issue. This is an everything issue. Where does that yield come from? And the reason that we're building apps and not chains, the reason that we're not launching with a token because we don't need one is because we don't want to have to account or simply print volume, because all we're doing is printing inflation. And that shit is not sustainable if you do not have a source of revenue. Adam does not have a source of revenue. I'm 100% right about this. We can go hub aligned and all that shit. I know Ellis has been jumping all over that Dragon, who completely just kind of fell off the radar. I feel so bad for him. By God, we gave him warnings. Don't do this. Nope, gonna do it. I know better. You can't simply make money materialize without absorbing losses in another place, and that is exactly what Adam is doing. Now, they are a massive ecosystem, $2+ billion. I don't even know what it is right now. It used to be a hell of a lot more, but let's just call it 2 billion even. I'm not looking at CoinGecko. I don't care. But eventually, you run out of other people's money, and this is the case. And if you do not get revenue coming into this chain, then eventually you're going to inflate your way out of existence. If you don't believe me, take a good hard look at osmosis.
And gas fees alone are not going to cover that. Sorry, guys.
No, not out here, man. It's gas fees are absolutely ridiculous to even put it in. Well, we got a lot of... If you're churning 1 million transactions a day and you're paying gas fees on all that, sure, that's revenue. We saw it. Pumped up funds, Solana. We saw it. We know that works. But there is nothing over here that is that interesting that you're going to be churning 1 million to 1.5 million transactions a day. You're not going to get it on NFTs. That is a completely dead medium. It was neat, it was fun, and it's over. And the only thing that we have left up there is people trying to pile on to dead tech. It doesn't make sense. Crypto Sailor, I'm a little bit surprised, bro, actually, on this one, man, because me and you have had some conversations, and I know you're building some beautiful and unique stuff. But gotta ask, man, where are you building it? And is it here? And where are you trying to change the world? Or are you trying to make a living? That's kind of where it comes down to. Monetization. I know that comes off as short-sighted, and that's fine. But Sigia Cloud is not going to change the world. All we are doing is improving on something that already did it. So we need a very, very fast path to monetization. That's our model. That's why we built it this way. Specifically why we're not launching a token, because we're distancing ourselves from Web3, because our audience doesn't give a shit about Web3. But I gotta ask, and I'd love to see those numbers if somebody can jam those out real quick. It ain't that hard. Go to CoinGecko, go to over on Kepler, just add up all the tokens that are staked, multiply them by the value, and then times it by 0.1, because that's what's getting kicked out every single year. That much money. So I got to ask, where does that yield come from, man? Because eventually you run out of other people's money, and that seems to be kind of what we're drifting into. Anyway, Belle, please carry on.
All right, so Sigia fan, regarding the curtains, I like gold, but would royal purple work? I'm not much on color coordination, so don't know if it looks good or not.
No idea, man. I'm not a color coordination kind of guy.
I'll take this one. Normally, royal purple and black do look good together. However, the royal purple is going to be too dark to allow our signs to pop, which is the idea behind the gold.
Yes. And that's what we're looking at. Carry on, Madam Belle.
All right, so Linson understands correctly how things are managed right now. Sigia uses a buffer server that does not store the files to upload our files to Jackal, as the RPCs are not reliable right now. How many middle servers are in use? Are these servers vulnerable to denial of services attack, DDoS?
Yep.
If so, would an attack to the manager server halt the Sigia service?
And that is specifically why we have redundant servers on everything. In the event that one happens, we simply pivot over to another one. Now, we have to have our own RPCs. That's kind of the kicker. It all comes down to RPCs out here from the Web3. Web3 is fucking slow. All right, it is ridiculously slow. I know we put it out on speed, but we can't match Web2. We can't even get close. So we had to create an environment that simulates a Web2 environment while using Web3. And Jackal has no mobile tooling. If they had mobile tooling, then we would have went ahead and used that, and we would have saved ourselves hundreds of thousands of dollars of development, but it doesn't exist. So we had to create our own environment for this. And that environment is middleware. That's the only way that we can make this work. And I'm going to give you an analogy, a metaphor. I'm going to give you something. Who's seen Braveheart? Show of hands. You've all seen fucking Braveheart. And if you remember, when William Wallace was sieging York, when he was in the process of sacking York, do you guys remember that battering ram that all of these Scotsmen are up there shoving into the door? That's what our servers are. Our servers are the battering ram, getting them onto Jackal. Jackal has a 6-second block time. Web2 is not going to tolerate a 6-second block time. It's just not going to work for us. So our servers are battling the Jackal servers and the Jackal RPCs. Now, our servers are incredibly patient. They don't care. All they know is that this is an action. It's very binary. All they know is that there's an action that has to be performed. Right now, it's a 0. As soon as we come back, get from Jackal a file ID and a chain ID, 2 numbers, then we know that the mission has been accomplished and our server goes and fucks off. But until we get that, our server is constantly battering down the door, because the minimum time that it's going to take for us to get a file up there is going to be 12 seconds. People are not going to tolerate that. Web2 is not going to tolerate that. Now, anybody who's testing Sigia right now knows that that file goes up what feels almost instantaneously, because that's the way it is. It goes from there to our file server. Your part of this is done at that point. After that, the strong work happens, and the strong work happens on the back end. I've told you guys over and over that the complexity of our back end is incredible, because that's what it takes. But we are not in the storage business. Bell is not in the storage business. I'm not in the storage business. All right, we're data rail. That's all we are. We are middleware to get the data from your phone and to land it on Jackal. We have to land it on Jackal because Jackal is the thing that has all of the features that we need. The most important feature is effectively peer-to-peer. All right, once it's up on Jackal, Linson, write this down, bro. Once it's up on Jackal, Jackal has nothing to do with it anymore. Jackal does not control the file. All they are is an index card saying where the file is. But they can't change it, manipulate it. They can't do anything with it. The only person who can do anything with it is the person who holds a key, bro, and that's you. 2 different ways. One, from you to our server. You get an individual... You're drinking that hard stuff. Did you pound that? Go ahead and finish it up. Go ahead. You got all the way through it. Go ahead and pop that, Bell. Come on. Show everybody that you're one of those girls. As the alcohol goes in, the clothes come off. Let's see what she ends up with. But
I've got more class than that.
I do not, man. Even though I drink it with my little pinky in the air. But yeah, the hard work happens on our end and the back end. That's where most of it happens. So the only person who can manipulate that file after that file is sent up is you. Sigia Cloud cannot do it. Jackal can't do it. As a matter of fact, Jackal is completely out of the equation. It's between your device and the storage provider, which there are 3, because every file that goes up there is redundant 3 separate times, 3 different sets of decentralized storage providers. And because Jackal is a self-healing network, if somebody decides to pull the plug, meaning I don't want to support Jackal anymore, then it goes down, the network pulls itself, and it sees that your file only has 2, and it's supposed to have 3. Another file is imaged off from the 2 existing one, and it's sent into a separate storage provider. That's a self-healing network. I didn't coin the term, Jackal coined the term. That's why we're going with that, because at no time can you be removed from your data, period. It can never fucking happen. That's why we can only build what we built on Jackal. And I am thrilled with the way that it's going right now, by the way. And if you don't believe it, believe me, try it for your fucking self. Bell, please carry on. I'm having such a good time tonight. I am. It's a great stream. We haven't got to just do this in a while.
Sofa Ninja, TLDR, Adam's current revenue is circular. It comes from inflation and early ICS partners. It doesn't yet have an external revenue engine tied to usage of the broader Cosmos ecosystem.
Okay, so if we know that this network by itself is purely extractive, at what point do you start to say, where's the fucking yield coming from? At what point do you sit down and say, where is this money coming from? It only exists. It doesn't exist in a vacuum, all right? You can ignore the laws of economics. But here's an important point, and if you're going to snip anything from this, Jason, snip this. You can ignore the laws of economics, but you cannot ignore the results of ignoring the laws of economics. And they are every bit as real as the laws of physics. If you don't believe me, go to CoinGecko and take a look at the fucking charts. That's all I need to say on that. Belle, please carry on.
All right.
You drank all of it. Oh my God, you're such an alcoholic.
Yeah, well, we've got to get those bottles matched. All right.
We do.
So
I didn't think you were gonna. She's clever. She's a clever girl. Go ahead, Bill.
Sofa Ninja, Adam kind of feels like socialism sometimes. Rewards flow from inflation, not real demand. But unlike real socialism, you're free to opt out, fork it, or build without asking permission. That is a key point.
Yeah, but it's not really that, man, because
No, but it does go back to what Crypto Sailor was
It
saying.
does.
Oh, well,
It
yeah,
leverages
you know,
off that good.
the hub is needed. No, their code is open source. So, yeah, that code can be taken, forked, and off you go.
I'm not going to say that that's going to happen right now. You know what I want? I want them to actually generate things that generate revenue that purchase the Atom token. That's it. That there is no other way, and there is no third way of doing this. You need to generate fucking revenue. I get it. Crypto Sailor, look, man, me and you have had long discussions on this, so I agree. The stuff that is going to change humanity as we know it tends not to be monetized. But Atom ain't it. All right, this is not the thing that's going to revolutionize everything. I want you to take a good hard look at the broad crypto market. Everybody is doing what everybody else is fucking doing. So it's whoever gets there first, and it ain't going to be Atom. It took them how many years to even figure out that we need to change? It took them forever. And you're a coder. You are literally a coder, bro. Can you sit down and in 3 weeks just... Let's just pretend you're on one hell of a coding bender. Can you change the world in 3 weeks? The odds are good that you can't. So eventually you're going to have to come back and say, where's the fucking revenue come from? Do I need to break out Adam Smith? Because I love doing evergreen videos. I'll break out Adam Smith. I know it's all just this old guy. He doesn't really know anything. But it turns out he was right at everything. It's just funny how that works.
You know... You know,
It's such a fun stream. I'm wearing sandals. Look at me, man. I'm as bohemian as they come. And by the way, for you guys that are not familiar with it, this is Judy Hopps. Do you guys know Judy Hopps? There's a company called Playtone Records, and they make these little animated videos, and this happens to be one of them, and her name is Judy Hopps. They made a movie called Zootopia. I thought it was wonderful. There's nothing wrong with just simply enjoying a movie. Not everything has to change the world. Some of them are just popcorn flicks. This is a popcorn flick, and I like Judy Hopps. So if you didn't know, that's who this is. Carry on. I'm sorry, but go ahead.
one of the smartest things that the Cosmos Hub could do, actually, is take code that's been abandoned for a game that didn't get finished, produce that game, have Astrovault plug in a pay rail, that way people can sit there and actually buy extras, like any normal game, Candy Crush and the like.
Sure.
Have Astrovault plug in that pay rail, so you buy those extras and your cash gets converted to Atom and it's spent in the game.
It's like Canado. I saw it in a South Park episode. It's called Canado. You buy that and you can build new things around Canada. It's great.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be a very, very simple thing that the Cosmos Hub could actually make happen.
But we're not really into that.
No,
right? We're not
of course
into changing the world like that. We're into token go up. That's what we're into. I'm so sad for the entire state of the the blockchain world. That's it. That's the measure of success. Does token go up? Yes, good tech. Does token go down? Bad tech. Doesn't matter. Jackal has done shit that nobody has even conceived of. We are personally bringing privacy to the entire planet. We're gonna make it. Now, you guys don't get to ride along with us unless you happen to hold Jackal or something like that. But, and meaning that it's indirectly. But you just got to see the way things are going, man. You got to see the path forward, and we happen to. And by the way, if you're not testing Sigia, Jason, has anybody hit you up? And I think I've made such an impassioned argument here to at least test the app. It doesn't cost you anything. Nothing. Just test it. Because if not, we push straight into Web 2. We blow off Web 3 completely. And I really don't want to do that. I don't want to abandon the cosmos. We're pulling in Decenter with us. We're pulling in Omniflix with us. Everybody is going to be in our orbit. And our orbit, for what it's worth, guys, is sitting right fucking there. That's the orbit. Because we bring freedom. We bring utility. We bring everything people actually fucking use. It's just that easy. Anyway, but we couldn't do it without Jackal. Sorry, I had to add that one. Oh, I'm sorry. We're on camera too. Couldn't do it without Jackal. I'll carry on.
All right, Brian B., you guys are so awesome.
We are awesome. Thank you, Brian. I'm going to give you a round of applause for that. Oh, by the way, Belle, did anybody in chat point out a Cosmos app that they have on their phone?
No.
No. Well, how is that possible? How is that possible? Because this is where the this is where the incubator of forward-thinking technology comes from. But yet nobody has one on their fucking phone. And I'd have to ask, I'll even pivot the question. I'll make it easy. The first person to say, I actually have my cell phone on me, I'll send you a goddamn Aegis t-shirt. That's how easy we have to make it. Because my argument is going to be that all of you are holding a phone, but none of you have a Cosmos app on it. Do you see my point? This is what we're trying to change here. Belle, don't even make faces. Go ahead.
I have my phone on me.
It's right here. And next to my bare feet. We're very bohemian tonight. Thank you. And somebody's going to get that joke. It's probably only going to be Jason is the only one that's going to get that. It's got to be somebody my age. Anyway, carry on, Belle.
Actually, that's Sofa Ninja dropping the comment. Testers have been coming in pretty regularly. Lots of excitement and buzz.
We need more, man. Look, we can. We're going through doing the last little optimization on the servers, and at this point, we can handle about 2,000 people. I would love to see that. I mean, it's tough. It's tough giving away something for free that people actually come up and say, "Sure, I'll try." It doesn't cost nothing. It doesn't cost shit. It's tough giving it away for free. There's a lot of competition in this space. Jason and I have some really, really good ideas getting forward on this. We just inked in principle, not actual physical, but inked in principle, our very first B2B. We have 3 more that are actually in the pipeline right now. And by the way, Jason, I know you ain't doing much right now, and you might want to keep it loose, bro. I might got to fly you out. But there's several more that we have. We will be live with B2B well before we are actually B2C. We got to pay the bills, man. All right, we didn't get raises. Nobody's going to give money over to an app, no matter what we can do. So we have to rush to a monetization because we got devs to pay, we got people to pay, we got everyone to pay, and I'm out of money. I don't know if you guys noticed, but crypto's not doing real well right now, aside from Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is, that's the untouchable. That's the you never sell, which makes no sense to me. Eventually, you're gonna fucking sell. What are you? You're just gonna hold this shit forever and then just die broke. But hey, I got 11 Bitcoin, but no money. All right, you're buried in a pine box. Doesn't matter. All right. Anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We're gonna carry this on Thursday, by the way, because there's gonna be a lot of bullshit between now and Thursday, and you can always count on the podcast to bring it. So please stand by for that one, and we will carry on with our conversation and how it relates to Jackal and all that other good stuff. So anyway, Belle, if there's nothing else, if you'd like to talk us up, take us out of here, I would certainly appreciate it. And I'm just going to step completely out of frame. While you do it, I'm going to go over here and smoke.
One last comment coming in from Sigia fan. Bella says, I have my phone on me, and my first thought was give her a t-shirt.
I think she has some, and this is the boom or the shotgun mic, guys. So if I sound funny here, I do apologize. I'm on the shotgun mic right now. This is me over here. Hi. Sure, she can have all the t-shirts that she wants. Thank you. Anyway, fella, talk us up. Get us out of here. I have to tinkle.
All right. Again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who joined us this evening, we cannot say thank you guys enough. We do appreciate each and every one of you guys and the comments and questions you send our way. Now, with that being said, we are going to be back on Thursday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. In between now and Thursday, if you guys have any other comments, questions, or concerns, definitely don't hesitate to reach out to either Scott or myself, Scott at ThePodocasts.com or Bella at ThePodocasts.com, and we'll get those answered for you. Again, we can't thank you enough, guys, and we'll see you next time.